You're in high school, and if you can get your teacher to give you detention in 60 seconds or less, you win $10,000. What do you do? Lots of people are going to end up with no money and a suspension instead of detention based on this thread. What if I yell to another student, "Suck this f-"? In year 7, one of my classmates told another to go suck a fat one, and the teacher just laughed. So in your case, probably not much. Get up from my desk and sit at theirs. What are you going to do? Give me a detention? Teacher, since you want to teach so much, go ahead, teach. Start teaching something that is NSFW. Cut a dead leaf off a window plant with some scissors, which will then make the weird kid sitting next to you cry. That's what I got detention for in 5th grade. Nice. I went to the principal's office in 2nd grade for pushing the door open to the bathroom stall with my foot. They were disgusting, and a boy was inside. He forgot to lock the door and got super embarrassed, so he ran out crying and told the teacher that I kicked the door in on him while he was pooping. Did he wipe his butt first? Say I'll give you $100 for detention, and if he asks why, flip the table. A guy on the internet told me if I get detention in the next 60 seconds, I'll win $40. So give me detention and we can split it 50-50. Surely $20 is a lot of money to you since, you're a teacher. If we can change it to middle school, I could walk into science and say fart to instantly get detention. Teacher thought that because her family considered it a bad word, everyone should. My mom got a phone call saying I'd say the F word to a teacher and raced to the school to chew me out. She almost passed out laughing when they told her which F word it was. This reminds me of elementary school. We had a lesson on alliteration. My letter was F. Frank fly fishes from flying feces. I got in trouble because she considered feces a bad word. Elementary school teachers are a different breed. I once got in trouble because a friend of mine said underpants. I wasn't even the one who said it. I got in trouble by association. Continue browsing Reddit, but now more obvious. Browse out loud. I actually used to do this in high school if I didn't want to go home after school, or a girl I liked was already in detention. My move was to call the teacher whatever unflattering nickname the teacher had with the students. Worked every time. Wish I had gotten paid for it. Should have waited for the right time. You could have made millions. You think this would have worked hundreds of times? Quack like a duck every time she talks. So many other folks posting on here are giving suspension level ideas. Have to be more subtle for detention. Okay, class. Honk. Why? Okay. Honk. What? Honk. Tell the teacher, I'll be in detention if you need me. Stop me if you disagree, then walk out. I actually did this twice to an algebra teacher I had. She would never teach and just let the obnoxious kids run the classroom. I would use that period as a cram sesh to finish other homework or projects. A couple of times she let the room get so out of control that I straight up gathered my things, yelled, I'll be trying to get actual work done in the detention room, and just walked out. Coach who ran detention would just roll his eyes when I told him what was going on, and I never actually received a punishment or even reprimand. She also was not rehired the next year, LOL. For the school I work at, all you have to do is wear a hoodie, dress code violation. Put my hood up in class and talk back to the teacher when they ask me to take the hood off. Bonus point if you have headphones in. It's simple really, a lot of these are entirely too elaborate. Or the school I work at is an actual prison, I don't know. I should clarify that we have a uniform that is khakis and a maroon or gray polo, or collared shirt. They can wear sweatshirts without hoods, quarter zip style sweatshirts, just no hoods, hoodies. At my school, so many people started wearing them that they got rid of it being a violation. We are now allowed to wear hats and hoods. This also happened at a friend's of mine's school 3 years prior. A kid would not take off his hat no matter what the consequence. The trick is doing something bad enough to get detention, but not bad enough to get suspended or expelled instead. Most of the answers in this thread will get you way worse than detention. I'd get up and leave class, flicking the teacher off as I left. That should be enough to only get detention, not worse. I don't know, flicking off the wrong teacher could definitely get you in more trouble. What if you just started singing something at the top of your lungs? I didn't do my homework on purpose, and I have no intention of apologizing for it. Be late for class. Our school has a very strict truancy policy. One unexcused tardy absence equals detention. Me, has a loud-ass conversation with the person next to me. Teacher, coughs. Do we need to wait for you guys to finish talking? Me, yeah, I'm almost done telling this story. Give me like 5 minutes. Instant detention. Take out my phone and text someone. And then when they tell you to put it away, just look at them in their eyes and say, no. If I was a girl, I would just wear appropriate summer clothing and wait. Wait, with like your ankles showing or something? You don't want to be thrown in jail. Sheesh. We're just talking detentions here. In middle school, I got detention for so many random stupid things. In high school, I only got detention for arguing. So if I was in middle school, I'd ask to go to the bathroom during class or pop a plastic bag. In high school, I'd say something controversial about politics or religion and just not give up until I got the detention and then wave the detention slip around showing I made the $10,000. Disclaimer, this action does not reflect my political agenda. I am strongly against anything related to this ideology. So I live in Germany, and the quickest way that I could think of is to stand up and do a Nazi salute. While doing it, I aggressively yell, "Hail Hitler!" There's a fine line between getting suspended and getting detention. By default, this is an impossible feat. If I punch and stomp out another student, that's an automatic suspension. If I curse the teacher out, the teacher is probably going to be perplexed, which by itself can take more than a minute before her response. It's just impossible. Mimic what they are saying and say it louder. Works 100%, unless you know she doesn't talk. Scream at them to stop teaching bourgeois propaganda. Alternatively, yell at the class, "We must seize the means of production." Stand up on the desk and start screaming. Even if I somehow avoid detention, that would be fun. Pretend to be possessed. Give me detention and I'll give you $200. If she doesn't believe you, it's bribery, so detention. If she does, detention. Pull out some cash and a foldable pole, then ask her to strip. Where do I get a foldable pole, and where would I keep it? Go up to a teacher thoughtfully. Listen, my parents have been going through a rough patch at home, and I really need an excuse, so can you give me detention so I can study in peace? There's no violence, and it's not about us, me if you don't have siblings. I just really need an hour or two of peace and quiet. Worth a shot, I figure, and it's better than some of the stuff here that will get you literally arrested in this current climate. I'm going to have to start this one with some backstory. In my grade 10 math class, our teacher gave each row of seats in our classroom a nickname, and when people participated in class or gave the right answers or got the best scores on the test, the group got points and he'd occasionally bring in small prizes for the leading row. One guy in our class, a super smart guy who also happened to be a complete prick, was part of a row that did very well early on in the semester. However, when they dropped out of first place and he stopped getting rewards, he also got bored and decided it'd be funnier to lose his team points. At first, it was just dumb things like throwing paper planes, etc. With a month or two left, he lost his team half their points by going on MSN Messenger on the computer in the back of the classroom. He jokingly, or so we thought, asked the teacher what it'd take to lose all the points. Apparently, he took the teacher's suggestion to heart, because on the last day of class, he used a fire extinguisher to spin in circles on the teacher's stool while yelling profanities about the teacher's fiancé, who was also a teacher at the school. Mission accomplished. Why though? Well, the teacher did tell him that identical and seemingly outrageous scenario is what it would take to bust his team back to zero. It was one of those things where he gave an example, then added something to it, then added more, just to make it so ridiculous that the kid wouldn't actually do it. And honestly, I don't think any of us in the class did expect him to do it. The other stuff he did was annoying, but pretty insignificant as far as actual class disruption and whatnot, so we didn't expect him to actually set off a fire extinguisher in the classroom. Why he actually did it is pretty straightforward. He was a rich, entitled douche nozzle who never really had to work for anything in his life. And he acted out because for once he wasn't winning something. So instead of trying to improve on himself or try harder, he sabotaged his entire team so that he could act like he was losing on purpose. I should point out that this guy became a low-level cocaine dealer after high school, got arrested, did some time because he broke the house arrest agreement that his family's lawyer managed to get him, did hard time, then got run over intentionally, and is now completely ruined for life. This is a guy who was probably one of the 3 or 4 smartest guys at my school, who was also like 6'4", good-looking, and athletic. Dude could have been a superstar, and he ended up slinging drugs. Probably snap a locker look. With clippers? Nope, with a kick. Kick their computer off their desk, yelling, "This is Sparta!" That's easy because it actually happened to me. Not sitting at my desk when the teacher comes in, but standing at the back of the classroom. Boom! Detentions. Thanks, Miss F. Simple. Just light up a smoke. I don't know why everyone in this thread is screwing around with maybes and maybe worses when the tried and true classic is guaranteed to work every time. I would show them this phone. My school's retarded and doesn't allow phones because apparently we're supposed to be living in the 1900s. So easy ticket to detention. Actually, literally anything will get me detention at my school. Change of plans. I'll walk into class with my shorts slightly above my knees. Yeah, that'll trigger those boomers. When I went to school, minor offenses got you an 8th hour. Next level detention. Next level sent to the principal's office. And then next level principal's office with suspension. So this would necessarily be easy to hit level 2 without hitting level 1 or 3. I'm thinking a fairly minor offense with a challenge to the teacher attached. What are you going to do about it? Give me a detention. But it has to be the right teacher or else they'll one-up you. No, I'll send you to the Principal O'Shag-Hensey office. Wear a pride flag as a cape when walking around an extremely religious school with your partner. I went to a mostly girls Catholic school, and this happened to 2 of my friends. They were both trans guys, but their parents wouldn't let them change schools. Because there was a lot of older LGBT-phobic teachers, it didn't take long for them to get a detention. The teacher claimed it was against the uniform policy. They also got detentions all the time for wearing the sports uniform instead of the academic uniforms because the academic uniform could only be worn with a skirt.